it was 1,000% worth the investment.
Became more confident mom.
I wish I would have done this sooner.
For all the months that we've all been scrolling, following people on Instagram, and you're like, oh yeah, this will change. I'll be able to implement this. And it gets saved and you never look back at it, right? So when I was like, wow, okay, it's been a year and we're still like dealing with the same issues, that honestly was really what helped me make the leap into the program with you. Because I said, oh my God, we have to do something because we can't go on like this any longer. And we just really need to have this intensive program to make sure that we have the tools that we need.
Even though like I'm like not new in this gentle parenting, still a lot of things were like not very like easy or ready to use to implement, like from other like sources, other like Instagram accounts. But here it was like probably because of this foundation and kind of like a support group, and like that we're like sharing that we're all like going through all these difficulties, different or the same. I think that's like a big part of success.
I was the person who listened to every kind of parenting podcast you can find and finding all the information, but none of it made a difference. None of it was sticking with me the way this course did, the way it was laid out week by week, and building that knowledge and using the tools from one week before moving into the next week. And the short videos, instead of hour-long videos that I couldn't find time to listen to, those short videos, they were sweet and to the point, and they made sense. You know, they're real life. They make sense. It's, yeah, my kid does that. Yeah, I do talk to my kid that way. Yeah, that does make sense. I wouldn't want to be talked to that way. They all just clicked.
Like every time like I see like thing on Instagram or something, this is like, yeah, I should do that. That's a great idea. That's great. But then you like in the moment, like you just completely forget it because you don't have like, you're not in it. You're not hearing the content. You're not having this like kind of group conversation and really just like, how can I relate this back to our daily things? And so I have to agree, like just how you explain it, how you make it, you've been through it yourself, and just how you make it relatable for all of us is just super helpful.
What brought me here was actually going through therapy myself and realizing like that generational needs to stop here. Like I will not have my daughters grow up the same way. And so that's what made me kind of take that leap, is knowing that I'm investing in their future and their future selves.
I needed to change what I was doing, how I was seeing things in my mindset. And it changed my mindset a lot. And now I know I'm the mom that he needs, and I will fight for him, and I will change for him and be better for him so he can be better.
No one kind of teaches you how to parent. It's just something that you should kind of just know what to do. And then when you are in it, you have no toolbox to come across. It's just people are like, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, and no one tells you what you're supposed to do. And so it's just kind of, it's very helpful to have just something to fall back on based on other than just instincts, which normally it's your instincts are your upbringing, which probably depending on your upbringing might not be the best tools to use.
Application of the information, we're not just reading it, you're helping us. First of all, read it, we're listening to you, then you're giving us ways to actually use the words that we're hearing and reading, and we're practicing it. We're talking about it with our village now, because you guys are the village, that this is a safe place for all of us to unload those feelings and say, how can we do it better?
A lot of the advice I was getting from like people in my family or friends or people I know is it didn't sit well with me. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It's a lot of, well, they need a good spanking. Well, they need to be in timeout. Well, you need to take this away. And I just knew I wanted to do it differently, and I wanted to do it in a more positive manner, but I didn't know how.
What changes have you seen in your parenting, in your family life, or in your child from January to March?
I definitely have more patience and understanding for what my kid is going through. And I think for sure my relationship with my child is stronger. There's more connection and he trusts me.
I would say those breakdowns and tantrums are so much shorter now than they were. And they're not getting escalated into 20 minutes of fighting back and forth.
Her tantrums have significantly decreased. And only once in a while she'll have a blow up. And so it just makes our life so much more peaceful. And that was what I was looking for.
Structure, this foundation, and this confidence that what I'm doing is right confirmation in my daughter's behavior and reaction is like gives you like this confidence.
There's a lot less screaming, and I feel like she now like trusts me more. I would say she comes to me more with things, and she wants to talk to me about like hard things.
When I decided to have to be part of this group, so my husband was not very supportive. He was like, "Oh, what is it to learn to parent? It's like some common sense. We all know this. Like, why you need to spend this amount of money on that?" I said, "Okay, I need this for my development, like my personal. It's interesting for me." So I did this, and my husband just like a couple weeks ago just admitted that he agrees that that was a right decision, and it was like it is not a common sense.
What would you say to someone who's considering the next round?
Like, you're here for a reason. And your reason is you need help.
Not something that's just dumped on your lap and here you go, sort through all these tools and figure out which ones work. Each week you're learning about them, why they work, how they work, and then implementing them before moving on to the next. So it just becomes part of your daily life and your habits. And you may not be perfect by the end of the course, but it's knowledge that you're still building on and you're still keeping with you. And yeah, the money is definitely worth it to have that relationship again with my son and to feel confident and capable as a mother.
All the knowledge that we gained here, or I've gained here, it's only going to make it better in the future. So totally recommend this to anybody who is having a strong-willed kid.
Investment wise, it was 1,000% worth the investment because I'm investing in my children's future, and they're totally worth it.
If you're struggling now, you're going to be struggling 3 months from now. So might as well try to learn as much as you can. If you want the situation to improve and your parenting hasn't worked yet, there's probably a reason for that.
Definitely. Your kids aren't getting any younger. How much time do you want to go by before you have the relationship that you want to have, or the connection you want to have, or the tools you want to have to parent them the way you want to parent them?